It's a pleasure to talk to the both of you. Very interesting film, quite simply because I had never seen a point of view like that before about the aftermath of the war and the German viewpoint. So was that the main appeal? Talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was one of them. I mean, definitely, you know, I've been in a number of World War II films. I've certainly watched many World War II films, and yet I'd never seen anything about this particular sort of part just post-conflict. And I thought that was fascinating, and it really made me think about, you know, what that generation went through in terms of rebuilding and in terms of, you know, if everybody went through a loss in conflicts, there aren't really any winners. A nation might win, but if you've lost somebody close to you, I don't think you feel victorious, you know. So that idea of that shared loss I thought was very interesting, and also that idea of how on earth do you see people as human beings again after you've demonized them and been killing each other for 6 years? How do you suddenly look them in the eye and see that humanity? That's a great feat, an extraordinary thing. And I hadn't seen a film that was sort of exactly based here before.
It made me think, is it easy to research that period from the German point of view?
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of material. Anthony Beevor. I mean, it's a great setting, you know, at the end of that. Blame and responsibility as a world, as a nation, and then as a couple, you know, within that, you know, and our relationship, and then to take that out to Stefan's relationship and his daughter, you know, and the young boy that falls into the ice and dies, and Barker and all that, this world that these people are handing over to the youth. I thought it was just a wonderful point to start this and examine, you know, and then you go to the heart of what it is between a man and a woman, or between a couple. And the research is there, but we skip over these things, don't we? We don't look at these people that pick it up and put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
Yeah.
You know, we just move on. He's back. Humpty's back. Let's go.
Well, that was my next question. As a parent, these kind of films are a little bit hard to watch because you kind of project yourself.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
is it a little bit difficult for you guys as parents to take on those kinds of projects?
I mean, you know, I always look at it from the character point of view and not a personal point of view, you know, and I think what really struck me, I don't have anything in common with Rachel. I have fortunately never been through what she's been through, but I think it's impossible.
A love of mustard dresses, coloured dresses.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even have that.
No! Oh my God, I'm shocked.
I know.
I love mustard. I share something in common.
It just doesn't go with my skin tone. I find it quite tricky.
Oh,
it goes a bit sallow, you have to wear a lot of makeup, you know, anyway. But I think that's what really struck me, is that I've totally empathised with her point of view, and I think it'll be hard for people, whether they're parents or whether they aren't, not to empathise with what she and this couple have been through.
Absolutely. This house was extraordinary. That Bauhaus movement that they're talking about, it got me all interested in the architecture of the time, the fashion of the time. I mean, of course, it's a side story to the main story, but it's very important. Tell us a little bit about costumes and setting.
Well, I think the set, that house particular was, I mean, it was like another character in the film, you know. I mean, it was quite extraordinary. And then again, sort of, you know, that the image of Hamburg having been completely destroyed. We actually shot it just outside Prague. But that was very, very moving to kind of be in and amongst those ruins as well.
And a cultured, educated, art-loving, thinking German, you know, as opposed to the Nazified version. Once again, you know, victors and defeated, you know, and the fact that he appreciated this, and it's a new set in the oncoming of time of comfort in a chair. You know, I mean, I love that. I mean, you just you know what's around the corner, which leads even more to the uselessness of this war and destruction. You know, it's just like, yeah, we do want a good, comfortable, good-looking chair. You know, and the old thing. It was a wonderful choice within that. You know, the art on the wall of, like, you know, the woman. Yeah. You know, when you know, most men are having a hard time. They're scared of their women. You know, it's to find this kind of intimacy and everything that it can bring. You know, I mean, you know, I thought they were really wonderful choices by the art department and costuming, and I love the mustard too.
The mustard was great.